Today, Washington Bureau Chief Susan Page and the Washington Post columnist Gene Robinson, and also with NBC's Ken Dilanian. I have to go to the expert for a second. Ken, first to you, what do you make of this latest? I mean, it gets more and more a rapid version of Watergate. All of a sudden, the president, his people, Newt Gingrich, Chris Ruddy, his colleague, perhaps his surrogate, are now putting out the word, Mueller, your life is limited here as special counsel.
Well, the interesting thing about Gingrich is he was pointing to a story that I saw today suggesting that some of the people Mueller hired, some legal experts from the Justice Department, had contributed money to Democratic candidates in the past, including one who gave to Hillary Clinton's Senate campaign. What have we come to in this world, Chris, if we're going to judge everybody by a few $100 that they gave to a presidential candidate, and we're going to suggest that a guy like Bob Mueller or the people he hires who are legal experts from the Justice Department can't be trusted to conduct an independent investigation? And Chris, if I could just go back to something.
It is an argument, though. I have to say it is an argument. If you're on the other side of the trial and you don't think it's looking too good for you, you'll throw anything at the other guy or woman and say, look, you're tainted. It's an old argument. It may not be worth anything in this instance, but is that a couple $100 we're talking about? What are we talking about here? How much money did these lawyers give?
I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but it wasn't more than a few hundred or maybe 1,000 at one point. As a story
well, most
I saw
people,
today.
that's money. That's money. So.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well,
listen,
let me ask you about this pushing. Why would you want to put the word out through Newt or anybody else, through Chris Ruddy, that Chris Ruddy's walking out of the West Wing a few moments ago in real time? It just happened, and he's putting out the word through Judy Woodruff, obviously a straight good reporter, that that this president may fire the special counsel. Why are they so ready? Because they'll have another one. If they fire him, another one will come along, another special counsel.
I don't think we can discount the possibility here that Donald Trump is trolling his critics because he knows this will drive everyone bananas, and he knows that people will go to DEFCON 7 over this. And he loves just, sticking it to people and getting everyone talking about the latest outrage. I can't imagine that it's serious. I mean, if it is, if you got people like Ken Starr saying it'd be a horrible mistake, and you've got to have a reason to fire someone. What has Robert Mueller done?
That's right. It's cause. There's no cause. He just got the job. How can there be cause? Let me ask you, what did you think about the senator's comments just now about this?
Look, Chris, I think Al Franken just made some news in that interview with you because he said for the first time, I think I heard him say that the reason that people think there was a third meeting between Kislyak and Jeff Sessions at that Mayflower Hotel meeting had to do with intercepted communications between Kislyak and his people. Now, that had been my speculation, and I had some indications on that from intelligence sources, but no one had confirmed that. And I'd like to go back and ask Senator Franken what's he basing that on, but that's really interesting. And you can be sure that Jeff Sessions is going to be asked about this matter tomorrow, and I'm waiting to see, will he flatly deny under oath that he had a meaningful encounter with the Russian ambassador at this Mayflower Hotel event? Because Congress wants to know, the FBI wants to know.
How much bad memory can this guy Sessions get away with? I mean, he forgot the two meetings. If he gets the third, at what point do people even on his side say the guy's either got a serious mental problem, not mental, but dementia even, that you can't remember 3 meetings? You got to remember at least one of them, 1 for 3. He's heading for a strikeout here. And the other thing is, why did you let the president wrestle you out of the Oval Office so he could talk to the FBI director when you know he's not supposed to have one-on-one relations with the guy?
Well, right. That's another question he's going to be asked. And did James Comey tell you that he didn't want to be alone with the president? And what did you do with that information? Because it was your job to run interference and to make sure that the FBI director and the Justice Department can be independent in a criminal investigation, Chris.
Ken Dilanian, thank you. You've answered raised some great questions tonight, as always, with a great background on this. Thank you so much, Ken Dilanian. Let me bring in Susan Page.